Okay, the atmosphere in that building. Wow. You could just feel it, couldn't you? That real big fight feel. The commentators even mentioned getting goosebumps.
Oh, absolutely. Intense anticipation.
Right.
Like something major was about to go down.
Exactly. So let's dive right into it. We're breaking down that huge undisputed WWE Championship match from Backlash 2025, John Cena versus Randy Orton.
And what a match to break down. I mean, the history there,
Yeah.
it's just immense, isn't it? We're talking about a rivalry that's basically spanned 2 decades.
It really has. You think back, like, all the way to 2002, OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling.
Their training ground, yeah.
Right, and their careers just took off almost side by side, both gunning to be the top guy. And the craziest stat, going into Backlash, head-to-head wins and losses.
Dead even. Incredible.
Just completely tied. It sets the stage perfectly.
Well, it speaks to how closely matched they've been throughout their careers, despite maybe having different styles or different connections with the audience at times.
And the stakes here at Backlash, I mean, they couldn't have been higher, really. Cena coming in as the 17-time champ,
The record holder?
the all-time record, defending against Orton in Orton's hometown, St. Louis.
Yeah, massive advantage, you'd think.
And Orton was going for number 15 himself. The big question was, could Orton stop what some people were calling Cena's destructive farewell tour?
That whole narrative adds another layer. Is Cena trying to cement his legacy? Is Orton trying to reclaim his own spot right at the very top? It's about more than just the belt, you know?
It felt like it. It really felt like a battle for legacy itself.
And that's key in wrestling, isn't it? Legacy. What does it mean? What do you do to protect it or build it?
Definitely. So, okay, the build-up, that video package they aired before the match.
Oh, fantastic package. Really set the mood.
It did. Showcasing Cena winning number 17, Orton hitting that RKO counter, all set to Warriors by Imagine Dragons, just perfectly captured that feeling of these two, well, warriors colliding.
Those packages are so good at hitting the emotional beats, reminding everyone of the journey these guys have been on. Connects you instantly.
Then Orton's entrance.
Yeah.
The place just erupted.
Oh, yeah. St. Louis went next for him, singing his theme song.
The whole crowd. And that graphic they showed listing his titles. I mean, wow.
It's a reminder, isn't it? 10-time WWE champ, 4-time world heavyweight.
Intercontinental, U.S., Tag Team Champ, Money in the Bank winner, 2 Royal Rumbles.
The list goes on and on. It establishes him, especially in front of that hometown crowd, as a huge deal in his own right, not just some challenger.
No doubt. But even with all that love for Orton, you still heard it.
Oh, the let's go Cena sucks, yeah.
Let's go Cena.
Cena sucks.
Let's go Cena.
Cena sucks.
Still there. After all these years, all the titles, Cena still splits the crowd like nobody else.
It's part of his whole aura, I guess. Love him or hate him, you react. And that energy feeds into the match itself.
For sure. Then Cena comes out, his graphic obviously highlighting the 17 world titles.
Which is just staggering.
It really is. And his 81st televised world title match. But they also noted his Backlash record was 2-3.
Right. Which was interesting. Like, maybe this specific event, it's a potential weak spot, even for Cena. It adds a little intrigue.
Maybe, yeah.
So the bell rings, they lock up, standard collar and elbow, and then what?
Cena. He offers the handshake. Classic Cena, you think?
Uh-huh.
But nope. Pulls it back, quick eye poke, straight away.
Dirty pool right from the start.
Yeah.
And Orton.
Orton fires right back.
Yeah.
No hesitation. He gives as good as he gets there.
And the commentators jumped on that, didn't they?
They contrasted it with Cody Rhodes, remember? How Cody had that moral purity, wouldn't take the low road against Cena.
Whereas Orton, Orton's history shows he has absolutely no problem taking the low road if it gets him the win.
Exactly. The commentators felt that gave Orton an edge, that unpredictability. Anything goes with the Viper.
Well, that's his character, isn't it? The apex predator, the Viper. Ruthlessness is kind of his calling card. You expect it?
They even talked about his psyche, no absence of malice, those sadistic voices.
But then they immediately flipped it, saying this was maybe the most mature version of Randy Orton in 2025.
Yeah. It's that conflict within him that makes the character so interesting, right?
It suggests he's still dangerous, maybe even more so because he's smarter now, more calculating alongside the brutality.
Could be.
So the match gets going. It's back and forth.
Yeah, the usual stuff early on. Shoulder tackles, headlocks. So early in the match, something kind of weird happened. Cena took this stroll around the ring.
Yeah, that was unusual for him.
What?
Not very hustle, loyalty, respect.
Right. felt off-brand, and the commentary team latched onto it, questioning his headspace, suggesting maybe he knew he couldn't just, overpower Orton straight up.
Is signaling a change in tactics?
Yeah,
A more psychological game plan?
perhaps. Then came this bit of info from commentary that was pretty major. They said the entire locker room
Yeah, I remember this.
was supposedly united behind Orton against Cena, who they called a spiteful megalomaniac.
Oof. Strong words.
And they repeated that idea about Cena wanting to retire the title, be the last real champion. It paints Cena's character in a really different light now, doesn't it? Kind of antagonistic.
It makes Orton's challenge feel even bigger. He's not just fighting Cena, he's fighting for, the rest of the roster against this guy who thinks he's above it all.
Yeah, huge implications. And the commentary, they pointed out Orton's pacing, how methodical he was. And they compared it to how Cena actually beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania, using that same kind of deliberate strategy.
Shows that strategic layer, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It's not just about moves, it's about controlling the pace, adapting your style. And the commentary, they jumped right on the main stories. Orton needing the hometown crowd.
Yeah, harness that energy for title number 15.
Exactly. And for Cena, they were suggesting he might need to dig deep, find that bitter, resentful side we apparently saw at WrestleMania 41.
While also saying Orton looked like he was in the best shape of his life.
So you got that dynamic right away. The perhaps bitter veteran against the challenger who looks physically peaked. Then we get Orton's, they're calling it the Orton Stomp now, not the Garvin Stomp.
Yeah, seems like a little rebranding there.
Okay, the Orton Stomp.
They even did that sleeper hold sequence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the commentary team had that funny line about the sleepers looking like basic headlocks sometimes.
Like a little wink, maybe. A nod to, their era when that was more standard.
What does that kind of comment do? Is it just nostalgia?
It's partly nostalgia, yeah, but it also kind of grounds the match in their history. Reminds you, these guys aren't rookies. They're veterans with a shared past. It connects with the fans who've been watching them forever.
Right. But then things escalated, didn't they? The finishers started coming out.
Oh, yeah.
And Cena hits the five-knuckle shuffle, goes for the attitude adjustment.
And Orton slips out. Orton hits the draping DDT, sets up for the RKO.
But Cena blocks it. Smart wrestling.
But then, that moment, the one that just made everyone gasp.
You had to double down. Oh, man.
Cena hits the attitude adjustment, but somehow at the exact same time, Orton hits the RKO. Just like that. Boom.
The timing had to be perfect. Just absolutely perfect. It shows how well they know each other after all these years. Counter for counter.
Just an unbelievable spot. Showed how evenly matched they still were.
Totally. And the commentators, they were really selling the impact of the RKO, right? How sudden it is.
Yeah, and not just on the guy taking it, but almost like it takes something out of Orton, too. That explosive effort.
Is that a real thing, you think? Does delivering a move like that drain you?
I mean, physically, yeah, it's an all-out burst. Mentally, too, probably. Put everything into hitting it perfectly. So, yeah, the commentary highlighting that cost adds another layer, makes it feel more like a struggle for both guys. And looking ahead, they brought up Orton saying he thinks he's got, 10 more years left?
Yeah, and teasing the idea. Could Orton eventually reach 17 titles himself? Match Cena's record.
Planting those seeds for the future, you could almost see it.
That's what keeps you hooked, right? Thinking about what could happen down the line.
Totally.
And the match just escalated from there. Cena finally hits the AA. 1, 2.
Kick out. Thought that was it for sure.
Me too. Then later, Cena dives off the top, maybe for the shoulder tackle.
RKO, midair. Another one out of nowhere.
Incredible counter. And then Cena gets really nasty.
Oh, yeah, the mockery.
Starts slapping the mat, teasing the punt kick. Orton's old finisher.
A really dangerous one, yeah.
And he just stops short. Doesn't do it, just stares him down.
That felt personal, like twisting the knife. Not just beating him, but humiliating him, reminding everyone of Orton's past, maybe, and showing off his own new mean streak.
And from there, it just went off the rails, didn't it?
Yeah.
The ref bumps started.
Yep. First one, Cena shoves Orton right into Chad Patton. Ref down.
And with no ref.
Cena hits another AA, number 3, I think. Then he goes out, grabs the belt.
You knew that was coming.
Comes back in the ring, belt in hand, RKO. Orton hits another one.
But no ref to count it immediately.
Right, there's a delay. Patton starts to stir, makes the count, slow count, and Cena kicks out.
Unreal. Orton must have been losing his mind.
You could see it. That's when he went outside and started clearing off the announce table.
What's the point of all these ref bumps? Does it just signal chaos?
Pretty much. It's like, okay, the rules are out the window now. It allows for more interference, weapons, that kind of stuff. Heightens the drama, makes it feel like anything can happen, especially with heel Cena. It fits the narrative that he's creating chaos.
So they're outside. Orton's cleared the table, but Cena gets the upper hand again.
Shoves Orton into the steel steps.
And takes out the ref again. Patton goes down a second time.
Just collateral damage everywhere.
But Orton comes back, lifts Cena, attitude adjustment. Onto the announce table.
Yeah, but the table, it didn't really break right, did it?
Uh-huh. No, it kind of just folded awkwardly. Cena sort of bounced off.
And the commentators even called it out, like, maybe that botch spot led to an audible.
Because right after, Orton grabs a regular table from under the ring.
Sets it up.
And powerbombs Cena through that one. Much cleaner break.
Yeah, that definitely worked. Funny how those little unplanned moments happen, huh? Shows they got to think on their feet.
Totally. So back in the ring, what now?
Yeah.
Just trading finishers.
Basically, yeah. Finisher, spam time, RKO.
And finally, another ref runs down. Eddie Oringo.
Okay, maybe now we get some order.
Nope. Cena grabs the title belt
Oh,
again
come on.
and just clocks Oringo with it. Third ref down.
3 refs? Is that a record? At what point is it just too much?
That's the debate, isn't it? Some people love that kind of chaotic spectacle. Others find it, like, totally unbelievable, takes them out of the match.
With Cena being the heel now, maybe it works. Like, he's the one causing all this, breaking down the system.
Maybe.
Another RKO.
And then, just when you think it can't get any crazier.
Here comes the GM, Nick Aldis, and like half the backstage officials march down.
Trying to restore order, presumably.
But Orton
snaps. Completely loses it. RKO party.
hits Aldis, hits Shane Helms, Shandavari, Jamie Hummel. They even mentioned a local guy, Austin Militalo, apparently an extra, got an RKO.
Just total pandemonium.
Yeah.
Orton had completely lost it.
Just RKOs for everyone.
Just pure frustration boiling over, like, get out of my way, authority doesn't matter right now. Targeting Aldis felt big, though. A message to management.
It really did.
Yeah.
And it looked like he was finally going to go for the punt kick.
Yeah, lining Cena up.
And then, out of nowhere, R-Truth.
Oh, Truth. What was he even doing?
He apparently thought he was protecting Cena.
Oh, bless his heart. R-Truth, you never know what you're going to get.
Right. He runs in, says he's a Cena fan, which, you know, who knows with Truth.
Predictable result.
RKO for Truth. Immediately.
Of course. But that distraction, that was all Cena needed.
Low blow.
Blatant low blow. Then a shot with the championship belt. And who recovers just in time to count the pin?
Let me guess. Chad Patton.
The original ref, Chad Patton, slides in, makes the 3 count. Cena retains.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a cheap finish. Deliberately cheap, obviously.
Had to be right. Designed to get heat on Cena, make him look like a completely opportunistic heel who stole the win. Contrasts with Orton's, more direct RKO everyone approach. Truth just got caught in the middle.
Yeah, poor Truth. Just trying to help.
So after the match, Cena gets the mic, tells him to cut his music.
Ooh, always a sign something intense is coming.
And he just lays it out.
Twisting the knife, tells the St. Louis crowd, Orton's hometown, drink it in, because this is what the last real champion looks like.
Ouch. Just pure heel arrogance right there. Rubbing it in. Doesn't need the WWE universe. Just needs competition. He's the last real champion.
Doubling down on the arrogance.
Yeah. And the commentary team. They were split, weren't they?
Very split. Yeah. Some were saying, the overbooking, the ref bumps.
Right.
It was maybe too much. The one even said it felt like very early TNA.
Ouch. That's a specific kind of criticism, usually meaning messy and over-reliant on interference.
Exactly. But then others were arguing, no, it worked. It fit Cena's character, it amplified the spectacle, it made it memorable.
It's interesting, that divide. What's your feeling? Too much or just right for the story?
Honestly, I can see both sides. It was a lot. 3 ref bumps is pushing it. But for this story, Cena's first big defense as this new heel, maybe they needed to go over the top to establish how far he'll go.
Okay, fair point.
Right.
Solidifies that potential villain turn.
Though, interestingly, as Cena was leaving, he did look kind of emotional for a second.
Maybe a flicker of the old Cena. Or just the toll of the match. Hard to say. That's the ambiguity, maybe?
Could be.
Okay, so let's pull in Meltzer's takes from the external notes. It starts with Meltzer's rating 3.25 stars.
Okay, not terrible, not amazing.
Right, but then it adds his observation that Said the early stuff didn't do much, but the crowd was super invested just in the idea of Cena versus Orton again.
He did have a specific knock on the commentary, though, didn't he?
He felt they basically gave away that the finishing moves weren't actually the finish.
Spoiling the near falls.
Exactly.
Oh.
He's quoted saying, it's how they're taught, apparently, but it ruins near falls for viewers paying attention. Call it real bad here. He kind of joked that luckily the live crowd wasn't hearing them.
Which leads to his main point. The crowd. He says even though the match structure was, far too predictable, ref bumps, interference, finisher kickouts again and again.
Despite all that, the crowd was super into it. Had the most reaction of the whole show.
And that's where he uses the term smoke and mirrors. Like, okay, maybe technically or artistically you could call it bad.
Yeah, but, and this is key, he says, wrestling is about what works. And it did work, simply because the live audience was so engaged. The crowd was completely pro-Orton and just super into it.
And then there's that detail from the notes that's just wild. After the show goes off air, the St. Louis crowd, Orton's hometown crowd.
They started chanting, "Thank you, Cena."
Yeah. After he just won by cheating, belt shots, interference, being portrayed as this desperate figure, they chant, "Thank you, Cena."
It completely flips the script on the narrative we just saw play out, doesn't it?
It really does. But the night wasn't over. Post-match press conference.
R-Truth again.
R-Truth interrupts Cena, still trying to be his buddy, saying he knows fans chant Cena sucks, but he supports him.
And Cena was not having it this time.
No. Warned him, Truth kept talking.
Yeah.
So Cena just gave him an attitude adjustment right through the press conference table.
Whoa. Okay, so much for any ambiguity there. That's a pretty definitive statement from Cena. No time for jokes, pure ruthless focus.
Seems like it.
Truth tries to help, gets an RKO, and then gets attacked by Cena after the show.
Exactly. The commentators sounded genuinely shocked when they discussed it. Kicked off all sorts of speculation.
That feels significant, attacking someone off-air like that, especially someone like Truth. What's the takeaway there?
It cements Cena's turn. Hard. No ambiguity. And it immediately sets up a potential feud, right? Cena versus R-Truth. Makes you wonder what Cena's problem is. Beyond just being a heel, it adds another layer of intrigue.
So where does Cena go from here? Yeah. The rumor mill must be working overtime.
Oh, yeah. Truth is an obvious possibility now. Another Orton match. Always possible.
People still want that CM Punk match, maybe SummerSlam.
That's the dream match for a lot of fans, definitely. The clash of personalities, the history. It writes itself.
And eventually, Cody Rhodes. Has to be Cody, right, to get that title back.
You'd have to think so. That's the end game most people see. Plus, Cena's advertised for Saturday night's main event later this month, so he's sticking around. Lots of paths they could take.
Which one interests you most, if you had to pick one direction?
The Cody match has the biggest stakes, obviously, but that Punk match, the promos alone would be legendary. The Truth story, though, that's immediate heat based on what just happened. It's tough to pick.
And there was talk, too, about this being part of a bigger plan for Cena, right? That this heel run isn't forever.
Yeah, some chatter about this eventually leading back to a babyface turn, maybe for his final run. There was even a report, you know how these things go, maybe hinting his final match could be December 2025 in Boston.
Wow. Hometown farewell.
And finally, wrapping things up, there's already a report from WrestleVotes.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Potential match brewing for SummerSlam. Randy Orton versus GM Nick Aldis.
Okay, so direct fallout from Orton attacking Aldis and the officials. That makes sense. And that's a pretty interesting matchup, actually.
Definitely adds a whole new storyline stemming directly from the chaos at Backlash. Shows how one night can really shake things up.
Absolutely, the ripple effects. So wrapping this deep dive up, Cena versus Orton at Backlash. It was defined by chaos, ref bumps, and drama spilling over even after the show.
Definitely not a clean, straightforward wrestling match. What hopefully came across to you is that contrast, how some saw spectacle, others saw messy overbooking, and those moments like the press conference attack, those are the things that really fuel discussion. So for you listening, what stood out the most to you? What do you think happens next for Cena? For Orton? Let us know what you think.